Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, Assalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah, Sallallahu alayhi wasallam, wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajmain. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Nabiyana Muhammad, Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Assalamu alaikum. I would like to welcome all of you in this second class session of Power Plant Engineering. And inshallah, today we'll talk about environment and sustainability, a very important topic as you'll understand during this presentation, inshallah. So this is the overall plan for part A, which I will be teaching, inshallah. And today our focus will be basically this environment and sustainability thing. Okay. And you can see the topics here, which are related to environmental concerns, anthropogenic climate change, the main greenhouse gases, greenhouse gas emissions, sustainable development, and sustainable energy technologies. The learning outcomes for this session, as you should be knowing that a Google Classroom has already been launched, which is the course site. I'm sharing resources through that course site. So if you seriously participate in today's class session and study the shared contents from the website, Google Classroom basically, you will be expected to explain the environmental consequences of fossil fuels. Also, you'll be expected to explain anthropogenic climate change, explain greenhouse gas emissions from fossil fuels, paraphrase sustainable development, explain the 17 sustainable development goals known as SDGs. And finally, you will be expected to explain sustainable energy technologies. So these are the main learning outcomes for today's class session. But before we move on with new contents, let us go through a quick review session of things which were covered in the previous class session. Yeah, we start with that. So would you please share some of the things you have learned from the previous class session? You can raise your hand virtually and I can give you a chance. You know, this is a point-based activity. So who wants to start? Things you have learned from the previous class session. Raise your hand and then I'll give you a chance. Yes, Akhtar.
Sir, types of fuel.
Types of fuels, yes, which are needed for. Anybody else about the environment? Anybody else about the environmental consequences of fossil fuels?
Air pollution, sir.
Yes, air pollution. Correct. There can be air pollution. Anything else?
Sir, limitation of fuel is dangerous for us.
Yeah, I want to know the environmental consequences. What happens due to burning of these fossil fuels or combustion of these fossil fuels? Yeah, Ibnul Fayyaz.
So deforestation.
Yeah, it can deforestations. Yeah, if you're biomass based power plant, and if you don't have a sustainable forestry, yeah, then you can have deforestation. Sadman.
Sir, basically high carbon emission, and due to that, global warming.
Global warming. Yes, we'll discuss about global warming again, inshallah. Yeah, Mubashir.
Sir, greenhouse gases increases in the environment.
Yes, correct. Shubha.
The formation of smog.
Yes, very good. Yes, formation of smog. Thank you. Yeah, we'll discuss more about this. Okay, now the question, what is meant by anthropogenic climate change? Anthropogenic climate change. Anybody knows about anthropogenic climate change? Okay, no problem if you don't know. We'll discuss this, inshallah, later on from a credible source. What is meant by greenhouse gas emissions? Greenhouse gas emissions. No idea? That's okay. We'll discuss about it. I just want to know. I want to pre-assess things you already know. Okay. Now, can you define sustainable development? Yes, Hasib.
Sir, greenhouse gas means, sir, which gas take the sunlight's heat and it will release from to the environment, like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen gas.
Yeah, these are the greenhouse gases, but basically these greenhouse gases will basically trap the heat within the Earth, the environment we have surrounding us. Yeah, they act like the greenhouses used for agricultural activities, for farming. Okay, now the next point is definition of sustainable development. Anybody knows the definition? A nice definition of sustainable development. Okay, it looks like nobody's responding. And also things like sustainable development goals, SDGs. Any idea? Yes, Mubashir.
Sir, SDG is Sustainable Development Goals from the UN.
Yeah.
There are 17 SDGs.
17 SDGs. Yes, correct. Sadman?
Yes, sir. I wanted to say that too.
Something
that we
similar.
have
Okay,
17
we'll talk about
SDGs.
it. Yeah, we'll talk about SDGs with some details, inshallah. Then sustainable energy technologies. What is meant by sustainable energy technologies? Who wants to share any idea about sustainable energy technologies? Yes, Mubashir.
Sir, sustainable energy technologies will refer to those technologies which will satisfy the sustainable development goals. Any of the 17 goals.
Okay. We'll see. Thank you. You have certain understanding. You will get point for that. But I'll try to elaborate. Basically, the things what we'll be covering here, that will help you to understand how to define these sustainable energy technologies. Things which we'll be talking now will help you, inshallah. Okay, now let's start with the main things now. And we'll start with environmental concerns. So already some of you mentioned some of the environmental concerns. I heard that, but anybody wants to add some of the critical, difficult environmental consequences? I heard about, I think, air pollution and greenhouse gas emission. Anything else Any other thing which is coming in your mind? Yes, Hasib.
Sir, rising the sea level.
Yeah, due to
Now-
greenhouse gas emissions, I mean, the global warming, you have, your glaciers are melting. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah, there can be rise in the sea level. Correct. Yeah. Anybody else wants to tackle this? Okay, no problem. I want to show you, I mean, more information from a credible source. But before that, I want to categorize different environmental concerns under three broad headings, which are basically local, regional, and global. These are the three, I mean, they're happening at three different levels. When we say local, it's happening locally. So you are having a power plant, let's say, in Shiddirganj. So the effect is happening in Shiddirganj area. Yeah. And you can have air pollution, water pollutions, land pollutions, things like that. Under air pollutions, again, you have two subcategories, indoor and outdoor. Yeah. Somebody mentioned smog. Yeah, that's outdoor air pollution. But what about indoor air pollution? What does it mean? Indoor air pollution. Who wants to try? Indoor air pollution. Anybody wants to try? Indoor air pollution. If you think about our rural areas, many of them are using traditional fuels, yeah, like traditional biomass fuels. And in Bengali, we say lakri or things like that. Yeah, they are using those. And when they are cooking inside their rooms, they are going through this indoor air pollution, which can be hazardous. Yeah, it can be hazardous. It can ruin their lives, their health. So that is your indoor air pollution. Next level is regional. So if, for example, if you have a coal-based power plant in Shiddirganj, I mean, even the environment of Dhaka can be affected. Yeah, it can be affected due to, I mean, if it has lots of sulfur contents, SOx, there can be acid rain. And I think many of you are familiar with ozone layer depletion. What does it mean? I mean, what are the things which are causing ozone layer depletion? What's happening there? Yes, Ibn al-Fayyaz.
The air pollution basically, which depletes the ozone layer.
For ozone, there are certain materials, Sadman.
Sir, the CFC gas is actually
Yeah, CFCs,
reacting
the
with the
infamous CFCs.
ozone and then releasing
Yes.
oxygen, and the ozone layer is getting depleted.
Yeah. Sumaya, you want to add something?
Sir, ozone depletion is like for the CFC, there is creating hole in ozone layer. That is called ozone depletion, actually.
Thank you. Asiful Islam.
Sir, fluorine and bromine are the reason for ozone layer depletion.
Thank you. Now, where these CFCs are mainly used, which, I mean, applications or engineering applications, these CFCs are used. Yeah. Yes, Sumaya. Do you know? Okay, if not, then Shubho. Yes.
In refrigeration, sir.
Refrigeration. Yes. Motasim, you want to add anything?
So air condition.
Yeah, air conditioning applications, the CFCs are used. So that's why there is a big search for having refrigerants which are not ozone eating. Yeah. you know what will happen if there is a hole in the ozone layers, then the level of ultraviolet rays will increase in the atmosphere, which will be bad. Then you have the next level, global. Global means it's happening globally. So a power plant polluting in Shiddirganj can cause havoc in Toronto, Canada, or Stockholm, yeah, or Madrid, yeah, or in Zimbabwe. It's happening at a global scale. So those are basically global warming. I mean, the consequence will be at a much larger scale, at a global scale. Okay, so these are the three levels. And this figure, I mean, which you'll find in your slide, this is really an excellent illustration of how different sectors are contributing in different types of pollutions. So environmental insults due to human activities. And you can see here, you have things like lead emission, yeah, cadmium emission, nitrogen fixation, so many things. Among these, if you look into carbon dioxide flows to atmosphere, our fossil fuels are contributing how much? How much? Who can tell me? What is the contribution in CO2? 75%. 75% contributed by this fossil fuel burning. Yeah? That's tremendous. That's tremendous. Even the sulfur emissions, contribution of fossil fuel burning is how much? How much? 85%. 85%. So you can see, I mean, and for some of the things, it's almost 1/3. Especially for CO2 emissions and sulfur emissions, I mean, fossil fuel, I mean, their contribution is really huge, really huge. So you can understand, I mean, how this fossil fuel burning is causing lots of havocs in the environment in different ways. And as I said, at local, regional, and global scale, which is anthropogenic climate change. Anthropogenic climate change. What does it mean, anthropogenic climate change? Who can tell me what does it mean, this word, anthropogenic? What does it mean? Any idea? Anthrop. Have you ever heard? There is a subject, anthropology. What does it mean? Yes, Rousing.
Sir, climate change by human activities.
Yeah, due to human activities. Yeah, caused by human. And we're not talking about climate change here. Just the word anthropogenic. Anthropogenic means caused by human. I mean, due to human. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So anthropogenic means caused by humans. And this anthropogenic climate change has become a big issue nowadays. Big issue nowadays. Yeah, it's a proven reality today. And the atmospheric concentration of greenhouse gases have increased because of human activities, primarily due to the combustion of fossil fuels and deforestation and agricultural practices since the beginning of the pre-industrial era around 1750. Now, okay, I said it's a proven reality. So what will be my evidence? There are some skeptics. They say, no, I mean, the climate change is natural. Climate has always changed. It's changing in recent time as well. So what will be a credible source from where you will get data or information to convince somebody that climate change, anthropogenic climate change, is a proven reality? Do you know any source? in our culture, it's a dolil. What is your dolil? What is your evidence that it's happening? Yes, Sumaya.
So if we see the chart of last 50 years environment, like how has been our environment since, we can see it has the heat has been increased, where in winter we could see that in October, November there would be winter, but now it's heat. So if you see the environmental chart that has been changed, so it's a proven reality.
Okay.
It has been changed.
We are witnessing what you mentioned, Sumaya, is like I mean the weather anomalies, what we are facing nowadays. Yeah, sometimes we have early winter, sometimes we have late winter, sometimes we have early summer, or sometimes we have late summer, things like that. Yeah, these are anomalies. Yeah, these are anomalies in our weather which happening. Yeah, I mean that's there. But there is a very good source which I will share with you for some time. But before that, see this thing. What I mean, Sumaya was trying to say, people, the scientists, they have done something like that. Yeah, here in this figure, I took it from NASA's website. You can see that people have, I mean, charted the temperature rise from long time, from the time of so-called industrial revolution, and they are seeing that the temperature is increasing. Yeah, temperature is increasing systematically. There is, you know, when you talk about climate change, the global authority is, you know, the IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC. Yeah, IPCC is bringing, I mean, it's an international body. Here you can see IPCC, international body. There are experts from different parts of the world, and periodically they are publishing so-called assessment reports. The last assessment report is known as AR6, sixth assessment report. In the sixth assessment report, there is a figure 2.1, which is related to human activities. I mean, how global warming is happening due to human activities. They have this evidence. And they have also mentioned here, see, in the text, in the figure, that the causal chain from emissions to resulting warming of the climate system. So emissions of greenhouse gas have increased rapidly over recent decades and things like that. They have, inshallah, I mean, you'll find the URL, you can explore and you can see how things have changed. Here you can see this, that figure. You can see the concentration. So the global surface temperature has increased by 1.1 degrees centigrade by 2011 to 2010 compared to 1850 to 1900. So that is a huge increase. It's increasing consistently. And if you look into CO2, methane, nitrous oxide, they are also increasing. They are also increasing. Also, if you look into non-CO2 emissions and things like that, you can see that it's systematically increasing. Yeah. So this is a very good evidence, scholarly evidence from IPCC, yeah, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Okay. So you can explore that report later on, and you can get more information from the sixth assessment report if you're interested. Even somebody, I think Shubho was asking about ozone layer depletion. You can explore that as well. That is a scholarly thing, this sixth assessment report. You can explore this for such information. Okay, any question or comment before we proceed to the next thing related to the main greenhouse gases? Any other question or comment? If not, let us talk about the main greenhouse gases. So I have a question. What are the main greenhouse gases? Okay, ID 9.
Sir, carbon
ID 9.
dioxide, methane,
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Tell me just one.
methane,
Yeah, carbon dioxide. Okay, you
methane,
mentioned methane.
ozone.
Just tell me one. Just tell me one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you said CO2 and methane. Thank you. Zanna. Jannatul Firdaus, I think. I cannot see the full thing.
Sir, Jannatul Mehjabin.
Okay, Jannatul Mehjabin. Yeah.
Sir,
Can you
nitrous oxide.
nitrous oxide? Thank you. Asiful Islam. Asiful Islam.
Sir, HFC.
HFCs. Yes. Ibnul Fayyaz, you want to add anything?
No, sir. Fluorinated gases that.
Fluorinated gases. Exactly. Mazharul, anything else?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So these are some of the main greenhouse gases: carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, fluorinated gases. When you say fluorinated gases, there are several fluorinated gases like hydrofluorocarbons, perfluorocarbons, sulfur hexafluoride used in transformers, and nitrogen trifluorides. Some of these are main greenhouse gases, and these are some of the useful links which will give you more details about these greenhouse gases. So inshallah, these slides will be shared and you can explore and get more information from these links, just to show you about this. Okay, this is main greenhouse gases. Yeah. So if you go to this link, you will find information about different types of greenhouse gases and their sources. Inshallah, you can explore it later. Now, again, if we talk about greenhouse gas emission by sectors, then this figure is awesome. It is showing you the contributions from different sectors. Like energy sector is contributing the most, 73.2%, followed by agriculture, forestry, and land use, 18.4%, followed by industry, and finally the waste. When we say, and now you get more details, yeah, when you say energy, then you have these different things which are here: commercial, residential building, yeah, aviation, shipping, road transport. See, road transport is contributing 11.9%. Other industry 10.6%, and things like that. So you can explore more. So say iron and steel industry contributing 7.2%. And when you talk about agriculture, forestry, and land use, I think the livestock and manure, they are contributing the most, 5.8%. So this is a very nice, graphical illustration of emissions coming from different sectors, and here mainly from energy, agriculture, industry, and waste. Yeah, these are some of the sources which are contributing. You can explore that later on. Okay, this illustration is very nice, which is coming from Professor Jacobson. He's a researcher from Stanford University, and in this figure you can see the total CO2 equivalent CO2 emissions from different conversion technologies. So it's in terms of gram of CO2 equivalent per kilowatt hour. This is the unit for electricity consumption. So that is in kilowatt hour. And you can see here, among these different conversion technologies, the most polluted one is basically coal, followed by nuclear, hydro, wave, tidal, geothermal, solar PV, CSP, and wind. So there are different technologies. I think for some of you might be surprised, how come hydro has, which is some people, I mean, people think that this is a renewable, still it has significant pollutions. Yeah, and there are, here you can see two types of estimates, high estimates and low estimates. Yeah, there are two types of estimates. And many people want to say that, I mean, nuclear is quite environment friendly. Even they dare to compare nuclear with renewables. But from this figure, you can see their greenhouse gas emissions are much larger than technologies like wind, CSP, solar PV, or geothermal. Any question or comment about this figure or anything we have covered so far? Okay, if not, let's continue. Now we'll go to a very important topic, which is sustainable development. Now, this sustainable development, this concept formally came from a well-known report known as the Brundtland Report. Brundtland Report, and it was prepared by the World Commission of Environment and Development. Yeah, one of the organs of the UN, United Nations. And the report is known as Our Common Future. And you can get it from this link. The link is shown here. You can get it from there. So according to Brundtland Report, sustainable development is basically the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Yeah, again, development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own need. Who can translate this nicely in Bengali? I want somebody to translate this nicely in Bengali. Who wants to try? This definition is very important, and inshallah today we'll have some activities about it. I will see how many of you can paraphrase this. But before that, anybody wants to try and translate this in Bengali? Is well-known, well-established definition of SD. Anybody wants to try? Yes, Hasib.
স্যার ভবিষ্যৎ
Yeah, please.
স্যার ভবিষ্যৎ প্রজন্মের প্রয়োজন মেটানোর সম্ভাবনা আছে, এরপরেও বর্তমানে প্রজন্মের মানে সম্পূর্ণ প্রয়োজন মেটাতে পারে এরকম কিছু।
আচ্ছা, থ্যাংক ইউ হাসিব। ইবনুল ফাইয়াজ।
স্যার বর্তমান জেনারেশনে আমাদের যে ডেভেলপমেন্ট গুলো আমাদের করা প্রয়োজন, কিন্তু সেগুলো করার জন্য স্যার আমরা যেন আমাদের ফিউচার জেনারেশনের সেই তাদের সম্ভাবনা বা তাদের হচ্ছে স্যার ডেভেলপমেন্টটাকে মানে কোনোভাবে বাধাগ্রস্ত না করি বা কোনো হচ্ছে স্যার মানে সামথিং লাইক দ্যাট আর কি, এটাই।
ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ। আইডি 9।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম স্যার।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম।
বর্তমান প্রজন্মের প্রয়োজনীয়তাটা এমন ভাবে আমাদের উন্নত করতে হবে যাতে ভবিষ্যৎ প্রজন্মের যে প্রয়োজনীয়তাটা আছে সেটার সাথে যাতে সাংঘর্ষিক না হয় বা কিংবা তাদের যাতে কোনো ধরনের কম্প্রোমাইজ করা না লাগে।
মাশাআল্লাহ, থ্যাংক ইউ, থ্যাংক ইউ। Anybody else who wants to try? Okay, if not, I mean, I think you have understood the main message coming out from this definition, that we can do different development activities. Actually, they are needed, but it should be done in such a fashion that it does not impact then, I mean, our surroundings, our people, planet, and other things in such a way that it will jeopardize our future generations' need. Yeah, so in the future, they should not be suffering due to our activities. And there are basically 3 pillars of sustainability: social, environmental. What is the third one? Who can tell me? Who can tell me the third one? What is missing here? It should encompass everything. So it's encompassing society, Economy. Thank you. Thank you. And that's the third dimension, economy. But mostly people are thinking about the economy nowadays. Yeah, economic. They were disregarding the other two dimensions, isn't it? Yeah. So, I mean, these are the three dimensions of sustainable development or sustainability. Also, rather than saying in this fashion, we can also say these three pillars in a different way with the help of PPP. PPP. P stands for people. The first P stands for people. Second P. What do you think? What is the second P? Who knows the second P? Which is related to environment. Yeah, related to environment. Planet. And the third P, it's related to, economic pillar. Profit. Yeah, but profit sounds kind of some people say it's kind of mean or cheap. So rather than using profit, you can say prosperity. Prosperity. That's the term. Yeah, inherently, I mean, maybe it means profit, but it's better to term it as prosperity. Yeah, you will do economic activities to become prosperous. Yeah, of course you need profit. Yeah, that's there, inherently there. So these are this PPP model. I mean, the three pillars of sustainability, which you should ensure as engineers, all of you in the future, in your future career, you should uphold these three pillars of sustainability. You should do things, all of you are doing your final year projects. I know in your final year projects, your technologies which you are exploring should not impact the society or people, should not impact the environment or planet. Yeah, and if it's a commercial product, it should bring prosperity or profit. Yeah, so this is the way you should think. And in your final year project, if you look into your rubrics, we look into that. Yeah, you must, in your thesis, you must have at least one paragraph which is mentioning the impact of your project. I mean, the thing which you are exploring on in our society. Also, at least you should write one paragraph related to the environmental impacts. Okay, so this is a must, by the way. If you want to get good marks, good grades in thesis, you should address these two things. Any question or comment about this sustainable development? Okay, if not, let's move to the next thing, 17 SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, who can tell me from where we got these 17 SDGs? Who prescribed this thing? Any idea? Who prescribed these 17 SDGs? Why we are adhering to them? It became a national thing. Any idea? Any idea why we are having this thing? Okay, it's coming from the General Assembly, UN General Assembly held on 25th September 2015. Yeah, inshallah, I'll give you the link from where you can download this. So in that assembly in the year 2015, and the title of this document is Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. And in the preamble, they are talking about this 3P. See, people. So we are determined to end poverty and hunger in all their forms and dimensions, and to ensure that all human beings can fulfill their potential in dignity and equality and in a healthy environment. Then planet, we are determined to protect the planet from degradation including through sustainable consumption and production, sustainable managing its natural resources, and so on. Prosperity, we are determined to ensure that all human beings can enjoy prosperous and fulfilling lives, and their economic, social, and technological progress occurs in harmony with nature. So these 3 P's are here available in this document, and then they define these 17 SDGs in that document. Yeah, they define these 17 SDGs in this document. So these are the goals. These are the 17 goals, and then they have some indicators. They gave some indicators about all these 17 SDGs. Yeah, so they have this. For example, this goal number 1, they have these indicators. These indicators. So not only they have these goals, also they have indicators. For example, in goal number 2, they have several indicators. Each one has some indicators. Okay. Now, these are the 17 SDGs. 17 SDGs. I think some of you are familiar with these SDGs. Now, take a moment and go through these 17 SDGs, and then you will tell me which SDGs are related to power plant engineering, which are fossil fuel burning, which is our main headache in this course. I will pause for a few seconds. I want you to think, go through these 17 SDGs and tell me the SDGs which are related to power plant engineering. I will pause for a few seconds. Okay, who wants to try? Who wants to try? Okay, Rauzin, I don't know whether I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Yes,
Yes, sir. Raul.
please. Yeah, Rauzin, please go ahead.
7, 9, 13.
7, 9, 13. So you're talking about affordable and clean energy, 9, industry, innovation, infrastructure, and climate action. Thank you. Thank you, Rauzin. I will give you my feedback later on. Afia.
Sir, 8, 11, 14, 15.
8, 11, 14, 15. Okay, thank you. 85, ID 85.
Sir, 7, 8, 9, 14.
Okay, okay. Ibnul Fayyaz.
Sir, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13, and I think also 17 can also be related to power
Thank
plant
you.
engineering.
Thank you. Mazharul.
7, 8, 9, 13, sir.
Okay, thank you. 9, ID 9.
Sir, 3, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 11,
I'm happy
13,
that you mentioned
17.
3. So power plant engineering is also related to good health and well-being. Thank you. Okay, 48, Sumaya. Sumaya.
There's 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15.
Okay, thank you, Sumaya. 86.
Sir,
Jannatul.
7, 8, 9, 13.
Okay, thank you. So I got some feedback. I want to thank all of you for your valuable feedback. Now, think about it. Suppose you are constructing a power plant, let's say in St. Martin's Island. So you think it will have no impact on poverty or hunger or quality education? You think there is no connection? Yeah. What do you think? I mean, if you look carefully, the power plant engineering is related to almost all of them, directly or indirectly. Yes, the relationship is very strong for certain SDGs. Strongest for which one? Which one is strongly, which SDG is strongly related, directly related to power plant engineering? Yes, 53. 53, I can't hear you. Okay, Hasib.
So number 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure.
Okay, Mazharul.
Education quality, sir.
Okay, Akhtar.
Code number.
So number 7.
Afia. Actually,
So
number
number
7.
7.
Look at it. Actually, 7 is directly, the most relevant. To me, that's the most relevant one. Affordable and clean energy. Of course, another thing, we can explore one by one, but look into this thing. Sustainable cities and communities. Can you have sustainable cities or communities without having clean energy or conversion technologies? Can you have? So people will be living in dark in sustainable communities. Yeah. To me, of course, the most relevant is actually indicators for power plant engineering. Engineering is there for SDG 7, but 11 is also quite relevant. And you can see that they're related to, or you can relate with most of the SDGs. Yeah, most of the SDGs. Any question or comment before we move? Now, for Bangladesh, we have these 39+1 indicators. I would request you to explore later on. For each SDG, Bangladesh has certain indicators. 13+1 indicators are there for Bangladesh. You can explore that later on, inshallah. Now, after going through all this, yeah, we discussed about the environmental concerns. What is anthropogenic climate change, the main greenhouse gas emissions. We explored sustainable development. We went through 17 SDGs. Now you know the 3 pillars of sustainability. Now, tell me, which energy technologies will be sustainable now, from this perspective, what you learned in these topics? Which energy technologies will be sustainable? Yes, 53.
So wind turbine or geothermal energies.
Wind turbine, geothermal, yes. Number ID 9.
Sir, solar.
Solar, of course. What else? Anything else?
Tidal, sir.
Tidal,
Hydroelectric.
okay. But before, now you need a nice definition of sustainable energy technologies, and there is an excellent definition coming from the work of Boyle. This is how he has defined these sustainable energy technologies. So ideally, a sustainable energy source is one that is not substantially depleted by continued use, does not entail significant pollutant emissions or other environmental problems, and does not involve the perpetuation of substantial health hazards or social injustices. So this is the way he's defining sustainable energy technologies. Always remember, when you are doing anything with sustainability, you will have to think about PPP, all of them simultaneously. So maybe you are addressing one of them, but jeopardizing the other piece. No, it should not be like this. You should try to address all the 3 Ps: people, planet, and prosperity. Okay, so based on this, we can say that renewable energy technologies, some of you mentioned that, of course, these are sustainable energy technologies, and also energy efficiency measures. So when you are doing some sort of energy conservation measures, that is a sustainable energy technology. Yeah. So if you buy a device which will require lesser amount of energy, that is good. That is something good. That is a sustainable energy technology. Yeah, things like that. So these were the main topics which I wanted to cover today. Now, any question about what we covered today? Any question or comment? Feel free to ask any question or comment. Okay, if not now, I have something and activity for some time before we summarize today's class. Very quickly, I want to hear that some of you are paraphrasing sustainable development. Not some of you, but it should be all of you. All of you should be able to paraphrase sustainable development. By the way, what does it mean? What does it mean, this term paraphrase? What does it mean? Paraphrase? You can Google, no problem. You can Google and see what does it mean, paraphrase. Can you tell me in Bengali, what does it mean, paraphrase? Anybody?
স্যার বাক্যটা চেঞ্জ করা কিন্তু মিনিংটা সেম থাকবে স্যার।
Okay, okay. Thank you. Yes, Asif, you want to say anything? What does it mean in Bengali, paraphrase?
স্যার একটা ফ্রেজকে ডিফারেন্ট ওয়ার্ড ইউজ করে ব্যাখ্যা করা, অর্থটা
নিজের
ঠিক
ভাষায়
রেখে।
বলা, নিজের
জি, জি,
ভাষায়
স্যার।
বলা. Thank you. So now I want you to do this. You can tell me in Bengali, no problem. You can tell me, you can paraphrase sustainable development. It can be in English or Bengali. I just want to see, I want to see that you have understood the concept. I want some of you to try. Already, some of you already mentioned already. I don't want you to try again, but for the others, rest. I want to see that you have tried. ID 46. ID 46. Can you paraphrase sustainable development? Can you paraphrase? You can do it in Bengali if you want.
The sustainable development means that we should develop something that actually meets the needs of our society, but also not compromise the future generation's ability.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your paraphrasing. ID 81. ID 81. You want to try? ID 81. ID, yeah. Yes. Can you paraphrase sustainable development?
Sustainable development is something is a kind of development that would not then endanger the future generation.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. I want to, and you will get point. You are answering this, all of you. You will get points for this. Yeah, claim points when I'm taking your attendance. Okay, Sakibur Rahman, can you paraphrase? Sakibur Rahman. If you don't respond, then don't claim attendance later on. Yeah, please. Okay, Asiful Islam, please go ahead.
So development that will not hamper by any short-term change of any climate or political action or something else.
Okay. Thank you. Arnob. Arnob, yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Can you try? Can you paraphrase?
Yes, sir. I can try, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, the development that meets the needs of the present without, sir, compromising the future generation to meet their
It's almost like the textbook definition, but I want you to paraphrase. It's almost like but anyway, thank you. You'll get point for this, for trying. Arnob, and there is another Arnob, ID 26. ID 26. Okay, Tanjeet Khan. Tanjeet Khan.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Uh,
Can you paraphrase?
Sir, sustainable development is a development that basically meet the people's and society's requirements by not hampering the environments by not hampering the environments.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. You'll get point anyway. Okay, Farzeen. Farzeen.
Sir,
Yes, can you try?
yes, sir.
Can you
Development that
paraphrase?
jeopardize the environment.
I think you have problem with your Zoom connection. I can't hear clearly. I'm sorry.
Hello, can you hear me now, sir?
Little bit, but it's not. You are not audible. But you can type. You can type in the chat. Somebody will read it out later. Okay. Akhtar Tahmid Itti.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, sustainable development means the development that tries to mitigate the needs of the present without risking the future.
Okay, thank you for trying. Fahim Khan.
So sustainability means there would be continuity. So when we're talking about development, if we do something regarding any development, that's not gonna do any hamper to our future generation.
Okay, so actually, thank you, all of you who gave feedback. Okay, last one, 85. Shahryar, maybe.
Yes, sir.
85. Yes.
Sir,
Yes, please.
sustainable developments are mainly to the principle of meeting human development goals, while at the same time, sir, sustaining the ability of nature system to provide a natural resources or ecosystem services.
Okay, thank you. Okay, ID 86.
Sir, the development that satisfies the requirements of present generations without harming the future generations' ability to fulfill their demands.
Mashallah, it's nice. It's good. Quite I mean, I would say comprehensive. Yeah, yeah. I think we had enough exercise. I think the message is clear. You have understood what is meant by sustainable development. So you will be given a project, design project, where you will need this knowledge. You'll have to, I mean, for your project, your power plant, you will have to do something called EIA, Environmental Impact Assessment, SIA, Social Impact Assessment, where you'll have to look into this matters. Yeah. So in your design projects, inshallah, you will be addressing these 3 dimensions of sustainability systematically. Yeah, that will be a must. So that will be in this course, that will be your benefit. I mean, you'll have to take help from these sources. I mean, you saw some of this information that will help you when you are doing your social impact assessment and environmental impact assessment, inshallah. Okay. So just to summarize what, I mean, we went through today, just summarize that we went through this environmental consequences of fossil fuel. Then we discussed about anthropogenic climate change, followed by greenhouse gas emissions. You saw, I mean, the different greenhouse gases, they are contributing in different ways. We discussed about sustainable development, and we took the definition from a famous report known as Brundtland Report, came out in the year 1987. And alhamdulillah, we had these activities and where you paraphrase this sustainable development, and I'm happy to see. Yeah, so I think most of you I mean, attempted to paraphrase SD in a correct way, alhamdulillah. And then we discussed about the 17 SDGs. And what I tried to mention that powertrain engineering or conversion technologies are directly or indirectly related to almost all of the SDGs, all of them almost. Yeah. For some of the goals, it will be stronger. Some of the SDGs, it will be weaker, but there might be some connections with all the 17 SDGs, which came from the UN General Assembly a long time ago. And also, at the end, we defined sustainable energy technologies. Yeah. So sustainable energy technologies are those technologies which are promoting the 3 pillars of sustainability: people, planet, and prosperity. So with this, I want to end today's class session. Thank you very much.